Hi, welcome. I am Kim Miller. I am the executive director and the founder of FemArt Gallery. And we are a nonprofit who, along with much of the world, is finding new ways to continue our service. Our mission is to support and promote women artists. And we are so fortunate today to have Leigh Slayden join us. And I'm going to be introducing you to her and to allow her to talk about her work and also about the importance of her work and how she's going to be in our upcoming show, Where the Wild Women Go, which we're really excited to have her. And first, I would like to start off welcoming you, Leigh, and asking you the first question of what inspires you to do art?
Thank you very much for asking that question. In fact, this show had the perfect title for answering that, Where the Wild Women Go, because most of my inspiration is truly where I go. It is places I go and things that I see, whether it's this boiling storm forming in the Florida skies, or in my travels to Ireland and encountering the fantastic ancient ruins there from the 13th century, and trying to come back with it just brimming in my heart and in my imagination, trying to capture some of the glory of that, the sense of the stones and the 900 kinds of moss and lichen and the precision of the architecture and the beauty and the haunting sense of the place, and capturing that in oils and then presenting it to the viewer to try to bring them into that experience, and pass that inspiration on.
Wow, that is wonderful. I love that. And I love that you've been to Ireland and
Yes.
you're kind of a world traveler, which is really important for
Right.
artists to make sure to see as much as possible to find that inspiration. That's beautiful.
Very.
I'd also like to ask you, um, being an artist and being in this show, we are going to have the opportunity to have a virtual art experience that's going to be global. And we were originally planning on this show being local here in Jacksonville. So I would like to ask you how you feel your artwork contributes to the cultural landscape here in Jacksonville and abroad.
I'm glad that you ask it that way, because when I'm creating something, I'm not normally thinking about just what's the local impact. A lot of my collectors are, in completely different states. I look at it more as an impact to our future, just as I'm inspired by that architecture of Ireland, that moment in time, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and of course by other artists of this over the centuries. What we're creating now is influencing those future centuries. Women tend to be underrepresented in the history books. Certainly my degree didn't have as many. The Impressionist women would be on, oh, this lady also painted with those guys, when they were in fact brilliant artists of their own right. We encounter all kinds of challenges, both in exhibiting, in prize awards. Somehow I think in people's minds, there's this concept that if a man is an artist, he must be doing this full time and not have a regular job. Maybe not. I don't know why, but I see locally in our region, women are underrepresented in gaining honors within the course of normal galleries, and even representation in normal galleries. Globally, I follow so many artists on Instagram myself, who inspire me, modern artists. And sometimes, we use initials. My signature is L.A. Slayden rather than Leigh Slayden. Leigh is also a male name, so nobody may know that I'm a woman. But I don't necessarily know who's doing that painting. I mean, maybe it's a man, maybe it's a woman. And a lot of times I find out, some of my favorite artists are women, and who knew, and they're not out there. I want to have that kind of impact in today, where it's the images I paint and the style that I paint, and my interpretation and my vision of reality is what inspires people and excites people. I mean, half of my work is custom work. And that means that other people see what I've done for me and they love the style and they entrust me with their portrait or their scene that they want to have painted in the same style. And to me, that's a wonderful impact to have, because you know, how many of us don't wish that we could have a Van Gogh right now or a Frida, you know, because we see that person's style, the individuality, and it, you know, not derivative necessarily of something else. It's just that person. So I see our art today, mine and other artists of the day, as diverse as we are, it's footprints for the future, the same way this ruin is footprints for us. You know, we look back, somebody will look back, and this art is archival. It will last for centuries. So I know it will still be here. Somebody can turn around and say, you know, that ruin doesn't even look like that anymore. I don't know what they'll say really, but I want to know that it will last for generations of the people who collect it, and it will have an impact on how they see that we viewed things today, and also how we worked today as material wise. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of going into a number of different topics on this, but our materials are changing because some of the elements that people used to work with are very rare. So, you know, once upon a time, I had a tube of rose madder oil paint and it was $30, which is pretty hideous for a tube of oil paint. Now, if I find it, it's just going to be out of my reach. So our materials change, and what we're able to do, and when we look back on old paintings and things, we're also looking at even oil paints, even the same things. We learn from them what was different about the materials, what errors were made. You know, Helen Frankenthaler, who was very inventive, painted directly on canvas. Turns out oil attacks canvas, and so many of her works are dissolving. But we learn things later as we're viewing the work, and hopefully my work will inspire people in the future.
I love that. Wow, you're inspiring me. I know that. You really are an incredible artist that I am so happy to have with FemArt. So thank you.
You're so kind, and thank you for the invitation. I'm really excited to be in the show.
Oh, this is very exciting. I do have one final question, and that is, when you are working on your artwork and trying to get into that creative mode, which do you prefer to drink, wine or tea?
I would definitely be a wine person. It was actually some achievement for me to finally be able to drink without, be able to paint without drinking wine. But it would be wine for me.
Leigh, I want to say thank you. I want to say how much I am really looking forward to having you in our virtual show. I can't wait for the world to see your work globally. And I just want to say thank you for letting all of us meet you and to get to know you better. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.